Welcome to our international podcast, Below the Belt. Great to have each and every one of you here with us. We would certainly have it no other way, guys. We would certainly wish it no other way. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. And we are so happy that so many of you are joining our broadcast today. Love to have you guys come by, and you are such good company for us. And we hope that you folks benefit something as well from these programs. We are so glad to have each and every one of you. Well, guys, we've come to the end of the week. Believe it or not, we have come to the end of the week. Yep. Things are moving very fast. March is almost done, folks. March has almost done. By the time you and I have met again in next week, this time it will be April. Believe it or not, it will be April. And that's why we say pace and power. Magnell Barrow, pace and power. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Beatrice Selby and Magnell Barrow. Happy Friday, Shivani McDonald and June Chase, John Britton, David, John Raymond, Edward Gonzalez, who's joining us from the Bronx. Happy Friday to each and every one of you. And that's why we've been saying, guys, pace and power. Pace and power. Since the year has begun, 3 months has run by so fast. And guys, if you're not on top of your goals, if you're not on top of your dreams, your hopes and aspirations, trying to make them reality, guys, you're going to be left behind. Nobody's going to do it for you. You got to get out there and do it for yourself. Fight for what you want, guys. Fight for it and move forward. Few things is just handed to us just like that. Unlike the air we breathe, with the other stuff we gotta work for, and even the air we breathe, we gotta work to keep it pure and clean these days. But good to have you, Roxanne Garraway. Good to have you, Candy, Nalene Inderjeet, and Selena Fraser, Desiree Simon, Liverpool, Stanborn. Good to see you, Charlotte Cicheran, Mohan. Good to see you, Candy, and Ann Singh. Good to see you guys. Would have no other company but yours, Marlon King. Happy Friday, guys. The weekend beckons. The weekend beckons, and I'm looking forward to it to catch up on some much needed recharge of the batteries, guys. You gotta work hard, but you gotta rest. You gotta take care of number one, folks. You gotta take care of number one. Stephen Covey tells us that the greatest investment is the investment in self, the investment in your health, folks, the investment in your well-being, the investment in a very, very good mental state. Mental health is real, folks, and we gotta be gentle with ourselves. And I know most of us seek the weekends to do so. You guys recoil, you take it easy, and so forth. Even and during the week, I try to get the laundry done because the weekend I just want for me. And me, it means doing absolutely nothing besides the podcast here on Sundays and Saturdays and Sundays, and then just having the time for myself. I ain't want to do no work. Me taking time for myself, I do work around the house. That's why I try to get off the chores during the course of the week, take out the garbage and do a little cleaning and so on. Try to get it in during the week. During the weekends, no. Me and that television. Whether we watching a little Netflix, some Amazon Prime, or maybe some Disney Plus, something. And that's what I use just to kind of just unwind, just to kind of unwind. When I get home in the evenings, I watch an episode of Inventing Anna. That's the series that I'm on currently on Netflix. Inventing Anna. I watch one of that. I kind of decompress for the day and do some reading in between, start prepping for the next day during that time, and then you know do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. You got to get some Z's and prepare for the next day. But the weekend, you got some more hours in there. Some more hours in there to get in some exercise, some self care. Give yourself some attention. Maybe a spouse too. Get some attention. But good to see each and every one of you who are with us here, guys. Candy says, boots on the ground. We am backing down. No, you got to recharge the batteries to be boots on the ground. You got to take care of yourself to be boots on the ground, folks. Working, if you guys work hard, and I hope you do, it catches up with you over time, and you gotta be balanced. It's mind, soul, and body. Mind, soul, and body. And the body we push to work, and we gotta exercise, we gotta eat right, and all of those things. And then the spirit, we gotta feed the spirit some good stuff. That's why I love to read and watch good movies, listen to good music. go to church, and you take in what the pastor, the imam, the major, whoever it is, the pandit, and you kind of assimilate that and try to steer your life in a positive direction. And thanks to the pandemic, going to church, I mean, going to a physical building, you could tune into any number of places online like never before in the history of man. You can tune in online and get direction. Whatever is your preference for religious what education, you do that, but mind, soul, and body, and you can't go wrong. To try to be balanced, you cannot go wrong. Everything going up, though. Everything going up. Everything, even more reason to take care of your mind, soul, and body. 'Cause it gets to you. Mental health around this period, where you gotta wonder how you gonna make $1 to 15 cent. You miss. Like, listen, taking some of y'all back now. Mental health is real. Everything going up, as Candy Naline in the G is reminding us, everything is going up. Everything is going up. Everything is going up. Guys, today, coming up in our broadcast, we're going to be talking to the mother, Fiona, of the student, Jaheim Straker. She's going to be speaking out on this fractured skull he sustained in an altercation at the New Silver City Secondary School in Wisman Linden, Region 10. We're going to be talking to Fiona about, talking to us about the issue and the issues that are at stake here. And we see this too often. You and I were right here when we were talking to the mother recently of the Golden Grove student. We were right here, and it seems as though this issue is really, really pervasive in our school system. The issue where students cannot find any other means to get redress to whatever they feel the infraction is against them, right? And so the easiest thing to do is pull out a scissors and stab somebody, right? Stab somebody, lash somebody in the head, beat up somebody. No, that can't be the way. Physical violence could never be the way. Could never be, especially with those so young, like our school students, like our students, could never be the way. They're too young to have that as the only resort. Come on, folks. Come on. And we, the big people, right? Some of we big, but we ain't got too much sense. We got to change that. We got to change that. We got to fight for the children. We got to fight for them. And so Fiona is going to be stopping by, and Fiona, believe it or not, is joining us from the hospital bedside of her son, Jaheim Stryker. Yep, from the bedside, she's going to be joining us and talking to us about what happened to Jaheim, what has happened since, and how he's doing currently. We're going to be talking to her about that. But first, folks, y'all know, oh my lord, things tight, things tight. Them guys, wanted to lower the gas price the other day. They removed the excise tax, but them businessmen said they ain't budging. They said they are not obligated to lower the gas price, right? So if the service station, those dealers are feeling the pinch, that to the extent they don't even want to pass on the benefit to consumers. What about the rest of us? What about this small man, as we say in our programs? What about you and I, this small man, Diamond Angel McCalmont? What about this small man, Roxanne Grant and Hazelyn King, Simone Garraway and Susan Canzias? What about this small man? Hmm? If them who got those who have the big set of money, the millions of dollars, the fancy house, and the cars to match, and the opulent lifestyle, if they cry out, what about this small man like us? This small man like us, you wake up and you see the two tennis show, you got to decide, I can skip lunch or I can skip dinner. Or I can skip both and have both for lunch, for breakfast. I can skip both lunch and dinner, and I'm gonna have both my dry dan. I'm a little black tea for breakfast. They don't understand that. What about us? What about us at the bottom? Us at the bottom, Clear Alexis, Charmley Richmond, Urban Cook, and Marlon King, and all you other folks, Lola Lancaster Bishop. What about the rest of us? How we making out when everything going up? Everything going up. And even in this season, guys, this season of our discontent, of hard times, of purgatory, of confusion powder. How we making it? I would love to hear how y'all making it, folks. How we making it? Especially those in Guyana. How we making it? Who do you turn to? When you bust the wallet and you realize you only got you got your last 500, but you got mouths to feed and bills to be paid. How you making it? I know how I make it. I'm telling you. Oh yeah, I think I run into a political party. Them jagabats and trench crappos ain't get nothing for me. But I've learned a long time ago in my faith, when my heart is overwhelmed, I say, Lord, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Lead me to that rock that is higher than I. And he comes true for me. I don't know about you. He comes true for me. The man upstairs, the big man, I respect him, respect his words and his teachings, and try to live by it the best I can. I've seen him move me from grace to grace and from stage to stage. I can turn back now. I can turn back now. How y'all let's make it in these difficult times, hard times, uh, high cost of living crisis, grappling this nation. How y'all's make it? How we make it? How do we make it? What are your own strategies for making it? Things rough and tough. Justin Halley, how is make it? Yeah? Justin says, I am making it by sitting and watching. Well, well, that's with some folks. Alfred Jordan says, things hard, hard. Right? Every man got to come to a sacrifice in a struggle, you know. I can't tell a man what his sacrifice is gonna be for the struggle. If he wants to sit down and watch on. If he wants to sit down and watch on. Right? I out here on the ground and out here every day. Me know who sit down and watch on, but they gotta know, right? They gotta know what they're giving for the struggle. They gotta know. Right? Marlon Thomas says, boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. Right? As Hazelin King says, keep holding on. Hold strain, Hazelin King said. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Right? Don't give up. How people making it, Travanza? Travanza William, how people making it in this place? Yeah? How we making it? That's what you want to know. It's only so much you can depend on them jagabats for. You know? I want y'all know that. It's serious times. And things are going to get hard. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It can get, if you think things tight, now hold on, folks. It's just a matter of when, and it's only so much, right? If you lying in a hospital bed, what they can do for you? You better call on the Almighty. Say, "Oh God," right? That's how people doing it now. When you bust the wallet and you see you last thousand watching you, and payday are far off, if any payday at all, what do you say? Oh God. Hear my cry, O Lord. Attend unto my prayers from the ends of the earth will I cry unto thee. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to that rock that is higher than I. That's why he said, Abba Father. Yep, yep, yep. You gotta get anchor, you know. Right? When these economic times dashing you against the rocks, you gotta get anchor. I try with her. Right? And I want y'all know, my anchor is not a political party. I watched the man upstairs. The man with the angle never tried to diss the man with the angle. The man who got the title. And why y'all know that. So, folks, those of you who join us, we're going to be talking to Fiona, and she's the mother of Jaheim Straker, who is a student out of Linden, who was struck in his head. I was looking at the photograph just before coming on, struck in his head by a fellow student, right? This is what I saw some of the news entities characterized as a pagwa powder row. A pagwa powder row. That's how some of the news media they're characterizing it. And we're going to be talking to Fiona a little bit about that. It's fascinating, again, interesting, intriguing, surprising, shocking how our young people are dealing with issues, how they're dealing with confrontation, how they're dealing with issues of where they need redress. We recently told you about that young lady who police told us staged her abduction and kidnapping. And when you read her story, you're more sorry for her than angry because she needs help. She says she's struggling with coping issues, with coping. I wonder what her family life is like. What her family life? I don't doubt. Some people got it rough. Some people got it rough, right? And only by the awesome grace of God they're gonna make it. Because certainly this catfish install regime don't have the kind of deep policies to make a difference. They don't even have the intention. They don't have the wherewithal, right? They don't have the compassion to get it done. And you have all kinds of interesting, shocking things happening like this, quote unquote, according to the police, staged abduction. Young lady says she has a hard time coping, she is depressed, and she resorts to self-inflicted wounds, self-harm as a matter of coping with that. Folks, you know what? You know what's our problem? One of our troubles we have here is that we do not rely on the science enough. And that's why them boys can tell you easy. Me read the studies for the new Demerara Harbor Bridge. But it's a no-brainer. It won't be harmful for the environment. We don't believe in those things. It's a default mode we have. You play some Americans in our situation, they can tell you they're depressed. Is this depression? Is that depression? Is that? Don't diagnose. We self-diagnose, right? If you feel the back of your head hurting, oh, this is pressure. I can drink a Malta, and you're going to walk again, right? You don't know it's some little blood clot traveling to your brain, right? Maybe it's because healthcare is so expensive, and in some other instances, deadly, that we don't put much stock and currency in those things, right? At my age, I am preparing to go and do a full medical. I can't take things for granted. You feel your foot hurting, oh, it's the cold floor walking on. Maybe it's that you self-diagnose and you gone on without getting a competent authority to give you a clean bill of health, right? Your back hurting, oh, it's something you self-diagnose and you gone on. If we bring some real, psychologists, sociologists, the professional people, and you start doing some real work, you see how much we suffer with a lot of things, right? But we self-diagnose and we gonna. What you need is a good cup of your back hurt. You need some capadula bark, and you gonna. You don't know. You don't know something pinching your spine or something like that. Or what you need is a strong 6 o'clock bush. Will knock out the problem. You self-diagnose. And one thing that fascinates is say everybody is an authority. Right now, them by self-diagnosing. The people who manage in this country self-diagnosis. I know what this problem need, right? This problem need two well, $1 billion in road, and two schools, and we can fix this here. Development, here we come. That solves everything, right? That can solve it. Self-diagnosing. This is the problem. And we ain't trying to get professional help. We're not. We're not. We're not. The same folks who told us and accusing um, others of rigging elections, the CARICOM scrutinizing team told us, they said, GCOM will always have problems. It got too much political people in the hierarchy, right? But we only believe them on the vote part. We left out the rest. We throw away the rest. We will not solve the problems of GCOM unless we depoliticize it. That's what the people tell us. But we only read the part in the report that talks about the vote, right? And we dash away the rest. The part that talks about the reasonably credible votes, right? That is part of the suit. We take the one out, and the rest, the aspirin, the Tylenol, and the things, right? They say you need you need open heart surgery to fix this problem. We forget all that. We just take out the little Tylenol and so on to get through to the next election, and we got on. And these things have gotta we gotta change this attitude we have. This attitude we have. Them boys ain't listening. If they were listening, we would never be where we are in the dire straits economically, with the high, super high cost of living. So much that 2 days ago, government said they have removed the excise tax from fuel. And the businessmen say so. What they gotta do with we? Right? Them guys ain't leading. They going for a walk in the park. Said in the program last evening, I see it again. John Maxwell says if you are supposed to be leading people, if you're supposed to be leading people and nobody ain't following you, you're going for a walk. You're just going for a walk by yourself. And that's what happened with these guys. They want to lead, but nobody ain't following them. Businessmen say, what do I got to do with we? And the fuel price remained the same. Before we came on set this morning, right? The team found out to them gas station. We checking the price for ourselves. We do we homework, eh? We check the price for ourselves, right? We check the price for ourselves. All the gas stations, the price is the same. Even the government run, state run gas station, the price is the same. So if they can lower their own gas price, what I can tell the private sector? You see the hypocrisy? You see the duplicity? You understand? And so the good book, the good book tells us that where there's an absence of leadership, where there's an absence of authority, every man did what is right in his own eyes. And that is why some students at the new Silver City Secondary School in Linden, they solve their own problems because they don't know, right? There's a rock that is higher than I. One just pick up a pail and stave or a rail or something looking like that, and lash the other one in his head. And now this young man, Jaheim Straker, is battling for his life in hospital. And we're going to be talking to his mother shortly. We are going to be talking to his mother shortly. His mother, Fiona. We're going to be talking to her shortly, guys. So bear with us. Share the live stream. Smash, smash, smash that emoji button for us. You're going to do us the world of good if you do that. Smash, smash, smash the emoji button for us. We're trying to get Fiona in studio, and as soon as we do, we're gonna be right back with you guys. So smash the emoji button, share the live stream, folks. We're talking to the mother of the student Jaheim Straker, who sustained a fractured skull as in relation to an altercation he had with another student there at the New Silver City Technical School. And I think we have Fiona with us.
Hello.
Fiona, very good afternoon. You are live on our podcast. Welcome to the broadcast, and thanks from the onset for agreeing to talk to us publicly.
Good afternoon.
A very good afternoon. Fiona, we were just informing our listeners as to what we're going to be talking about. And so they know already we're talking about the Jaheim Straker story, the New Silver City Secondary School student who there was this whole altercation at the school. And as a result, he would have sustained a fractured skull. Let's pick up our discussion, Fiona, if you will, at the point where you learned your son was injured and then we're going to come back to where we are currently. Talk to us about that.
Okay. I was told by a police officer to reach my son at the Linden Hospital, Mackenzie Hospital. When I got there, my son was having a seizure. He was in and out of consciousness. Then I was informed he was hit in the head by another student. Right? They
Hmm.
did an X-ray. The X-ray showed nothing. They said they have to do a CT scan, which requires him going to Georgetown. He was unstable that Thursday to go to Georgetown. So I took him to Georgetown on Friday to do the CT scan. We did a CT scan at GPHC. We came up back. Well, the doctor emailed the CT scan results to the doctor in Linden. So we came up back. When we got up back, then we learned that he has a fractured skull.
Hmm.
said she's referring him on Monday to GPHC. On Monday, when she called GPHC to make an appointment for the neurologist, they said he's not available until the 28th. So they gave us the date for the 28th of March. Um, my son was discharged that very Monday from the Linda Hospital complex, and he was taken home. I learned that the same neurologist works at the St. Joseph Mercy Hospital. So I
Miss
called.
Fiona, he was discharged with a fractured skull?
Yeah, he was discharged from the hospital with a referral. With
With
a
a referral.
referral.
Oh, great.
With a referral.
Great.
I learned that the same neurologist works at the St. Joseph Mercy Hospital. So I called and they confirmed that. Tuesday evening, when my son was at home, my daughter came and told me that what he's saying doesn't make sense. So I went to him and I said, Jaheim, you know what you're saying? And he said he realized he spoke just now and he didn't understand what came out of his mouth. So on Wednesday, I brought him down to town at St. Joseph Mercy to see the neurologist. When I took him in, the neurologist asked for the CT scan, the actual scan. So I told him that's all I have, the paper saying what happened. And he messaged the hospital and got the scan. Then he showed me what was going on with Jaheim, and he said Jaheim needs emergency surgery else he can go brain dead. And they
When
that's
when the
what
when the
happened.
physician spoke with you about what was going on, what is your sense of what was happening at that point?
I was in disbelief because I did not know it was so severe. I thought my visit to the physician, I was thinking, man, he's going to tell me. I heard it's a fracture, but I'm thinking that it's going to heal on its own. It's not anything serious, right? So when he told me that, I was in shock. And when he showed me the actual scan, because remember, I didn't get to see the scan, only the doctors get the scan. So
Hmm.
when he showed me the scan, the whole side of my son's head was gashing, all
What?
right? So
Jaheim is 16, by the way. He's 16, folks, and attends the New Silver City Secondary School, located in Wismar, Linden, as we said, in Region 10. Talk to us, Mom.
yeah, so he said that he needs emergency surgery. It's 1.2, and I basically had to start getting up the money from there.
Hmm.
He did the surgery. I paid down some money. He did the surgery the Wednesday at 7:30. He did the surgery. He came out yesterday morning. I got to see him, and the doctor said the surgery was okay. He found some clots in there. He took it out, but he says everything is okay. For now, I haven't seen him for the day,
Hmm.
but so far, Jaheim is recovering okay. He's talking, he's moving around a little, and he's eating soft food, and he's responding well so far.
Thanks be to God for that. Thanks be to God for that. We're going to come back to what follows next. But take us into your understanding of what transpired in the school setting that led to this, your son's skull being fractured.
I was told that on Thursday, well, Friday was Pagwa, and the children were celebrating Pagwa at school, so everybody was throwing powder. My son said he attempted to throw powder on his classmate, and his classmate got upset because he thought the powder was on him. So he turned around and cuffed my son in his mouth. So when he cuffed my son in his mouth, my son retaliated and they fight. Apparently, in the fight, my son won the fight. And
Mhm.
the rest of the classmates started teasing the other child, and he got upset. The teacher got involved. The teacher sat both of them down, talked to them, make them shake hands and apologize. That was the morning. The afternoon, when school was dismissed, my son said when he was walking out, two of the students approached him, one with an ice pick, and
What?
said, yeah, and said, why you beat up that boy? So my son turned away because it was two of them. When he turned, one of them pushed him and he kept walking. When he walked, he went at the shop by the school, and then the other one that he had the altercation with came from behind, lashed him in his head with the wood, lashed him twice, drop
Mhm.
it, and run away with the two other guys.
He was hit twice in his head?
Yes, he was hit twice.
And what happens from there?
My son walked from I don't know if you know Linden. My son walked from his school straight down to the boat landing because he said he wants to go home. His school friend accompanied him. When he reached the boat landing, he told them he don't want to cross. He want to sit a little. So the friend said he gave him a gum. But when he gave Jaheim the gum and Jaheim started chewing it, it fell out of his mouth and Jaheim started climbing from the mouth. Well, the Wisma police station is very close to the boat landing. So he took Jaheim over to the police station. While taking Jaheim in, he started seizuring.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The police officer, they helped bring him in. He became conscious again enough to give them my number to call.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when I was called and said
Yeah.
to meet the station at the hospital.
Wow. Wow. What, where do you think we are, Fiona, that children are resorting to solve problems in this manner? I mean, you should be able to say, go to the class teacher and say, well, this is happening. So this boy throw powder, man, like it. Could you speak to him? Or you go
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
principal.
Because in my son's head and in everyone's head, that matter happened like 11 o'clock in the morning. My son got lashed after 2. Everyone thought it was settled because the class they just spoke to both students, made them apologize and everything. So my son didn't expect the attack after
Hmm.
class because I even told my son, man, when this happened, why didn't you call me? When since the first fight, why didn't you call me? I would have come to the school. So my son said, man, mommy, teacher talked to both of us and I didn't expect it.
Wow. Well, and you know, as we're talking about school fights on this very program, Fiona, we were talking with the mother of a student from Golden Grove Secondary School quite recently who was stabbed in his back in an
Yes,
altercation with a student. And just a couple months ago, and at that very school, another student was stabbed with a scissors. And just last evening, I was watching an altercation locally in a school setting with some other students on TikTok. So
hello.
clearly, our students are not coping with violence, with their problems, with that kind of stuff. And there's some intervention that is needed on that behalf. You spoke to us about him having a fairly successful surgery. What happens next?
Oh, Mr. Duncan, can you call me back? The doctor's here. I have to speak to
No
them.
problem. I can step off. Folks, we're going to join her back in just a little bit. Great. Thanks. Folks, you heard there for yourself. Miss Fiona has to attend to the doctors there, and she's going to join us back a little later on. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Folks, can you imagine that? As I told you guys, I was looking at the photograph where the student is holding this plank in his hand and he's advancing to Jahim, and it is sending chills down my spine because there are other students around, and that plank, that wood, could have connected to anybody there. Could have connected to anybody there. And I see Rita Clark asking, why isn't this kid not in jail? And that is one of the questions I have to ask. What has happened since that time with the other student? Rita, so Rita, you're reading my script, right? You're reading my script. And just yesterday afternoon, I'm telling you, last evening rather, when I got home, I was going through TikTok and I saw a video with some students, and there is another one with a wood in his hands, right? And you know what is strange? Hundreds of years ago, Shakespeare said it. He said, the mind of the crowd is fickle. Let me tell you what I mean. The mind of the crowd is fickle. When you read the accounts with Jahim here, right? One of the reports, I think, says that the students were cranking him up. The other student who hit Jahim, the other students were cranking him up, right? But you see, when you land a you problem and you sitting in the police station or in the cell, they don't there with you, you know. The people that crank you up, the mind of the crowd is fickle. I was never impressed with crowds, right? And to do things because the other people doing it. No, 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 no. That's not how I operate. The mind of the crowd is fickle. Shakespeare said that. So they cranked him up, and I could hear yesterday afternoon in the video I was watching there. I can't remember the school. Some students were wearing green. I think it's somewhere up on the East Coast, cranking this one up with this wood in his hands. And I'm saying, look at our students. This is a deterioration in education. This is a deterioration in education. What is their home environment like? What is their socioeconomic circumstances that cause them to think that the only resort, the only satisfaction that is worth anything is violence? Right? If I think I like that, when I look across the dome in the national assembly, I look at some people, I can get trouble, right? But certainly, that's not the kind of barbaric world that we live in. And we have got to be instructing our students that there are other ways of redress. There are other ways of redress. And this seems like the default mode, however, of our students. Somebody get you mad and your friends, your friends crank you up, is lashed to head, is stabbed to back. And the other incident at the new Golden Grove, the Golden Grove Secondary School, parents said his child was stabbed with a scissors. That's in the school system, you know. The school system. Come for your world, Father. And we got to find a way. Again, a lot of things come into play here. The religious organizations got a tremendous role to play because children and students pass through those religious organizations in Sunday school and all of that. And you can't wait for them sometimes to come to you. We got to go to them. And then the government, through its policies, because our children in the school system too, we ain't aliens. We're not aliens. Our students, our children, the nation's children are in these schools. So what happens there should concern us. And deep rooted policies to change this, right? What's the socioeconomic circumstances? Is it the powder really and truly that got the student like this? Or are there other things? You tell me somebody throw a little powder in you in a school setting, right? I'm gonna fracture your skull. That's where we at. I won't want to think so. I won't want to think so at all. I don't want to believe that. Right? So we're gonna try to get Fiona back with us in just a few. In just a few. Share the live stream, folks, and smash that emoji button. Do that for us so that others can get the valid and credible information, guys. Share the live stream. And we're trying to do more of these programs. We want to talk to the people. You see, if I come on, our country is so polarized, and I tell you about these issues, you can hear, oh, it's propaganda. Nothing like done happening, right? They don't ever say, oh, it's Sherry Duncan. They say, oh, it's up to AFC parliamentarians spreading propaganda. Nothing like that happening. I gotta bring the people. And our role here is not just is not propaganda. It's to amplify the voices because clearly some voices in this country don't matter and not being heard. Our role is to amplify voices. That's the heart of what we do, to amplify the voices out there that are begging for help, crying for help. And our schools, our students, they know they need help. Lola Lancaster Bishop, one of our listeners, says evidence. Yes, we show you the evidence of what is happening. You tell me something ain't happening with school system. If yesterday telling you I'm looking at some students, one advancing to a boy with another wood in the hand. 2 weeks ago, we were dealing with the issue at Golden Grove Secondary School where that child was stabbed in his back. 2 months before that, a student at the same school was stabbed with a pair of scissors. And here you have Jaheim Straker, right? Jaheim Straker being dealt 2 blows to his head to the extent he had to undergo emergency surgery, or else, one report says, he would have been brain dead. That's play. That's serious business we talking about there. And a colleague of mine who's overseas, Christelle, reached out to me recently after hearing of the Golden Grove issue and says, you know, she studied sociology at the undergraduate level, went on and qualified herself at the master's level, wants to come to Guyana and be a benefit to us. Right? Is there a way? Is there a facility where you might have other people in the diaspora listening to me right now who said, I got some qualifications, I think I could be a benefit? Is there a way they can come easily and be plugged into the system without being harassed? Or people can look and say, oh, you look a little apnoish to me, you look a little AFC-ish to me, you look a little thingish to me. Is there a way to plug them into the system almost effortlessly? What if I got some time during summer? I'm in the diaspora, I got some time during summer and I want to come and I want to use my skills and my training and my professional qualifications to benefit the school system. Is there a way I can do that efficiently? Or I can get run around for 2 months? So Christelle was telling me, our system, you need some qualified sociologists, people who are trained to deal with this issue. And I'm going to have her on this podcast very soon. We've already talked about that because we need this kind of person. Right? Maybe the problem we got is too many politicians trying to solve the sociological problems in our country as against the political ones. We can't even solve the political problems. We're trying to solve socio-economic problems. Maybe that's the problem we have. Right? We got some people who got no business dealing with the economy, handling the economy. That's why we there. We be there. That could be one of the challenges that we have. It's serious. It's very serious out there. And I could understand parents could be very, very apprehensive. Am I using the right word? Right? About sending their children into the school system. Well, this is pent up energy after COVID. What's the matter with us? And us as parents, we're going to have some tough conversations. We're going to have some tough conversations with our kids. We're going to have some tough conversations with our children about how they conduct themselves in school. Something happened, inform your teacher first and foremost. Inform the head teacher. Call me, right? Call me. Inform an adult. We have to have those conversations with our kids. We have to. We don't have a choice. And while that is happening, let me shock you all. So a colleague of mine reached out to me, MP, what's his name, Vincent Henry, in Region 9, and he says at the school there they have some living situation at some of the schools in the hinterland they live in, and they said something is happening in the school system there, something that is paranormal, supernatural, right? And while we wait for Fiona to give me an indication she's ready for us to bring her back into the studio virtually, he said students are experiencing um, what you might call possession at this particular school because the school has been built on a burial ground. So the point I'm making is we have some real challenges, and Vincent was able to speak to one of the community leaders there, right? Folks, they sent me a video with a student being quote unquote possessed. I ain't look at it yet. I gotta make sure I'm in a good place. But I listened to the audio interview that I asked Vincent to do, and he did with the community leader. But what's happening there? And the ministry don't seem to be taking the matter seriously at all, right? Ministry, if y'all ain't got the know-how to deal with this issue, you better go to the church, the temple, the masjid, because in some instances you need higher powers. You need a rock that is higher than I. That's what we need. That is what we need. So as I'm still looking to see when Fiona gives us the indication she's ready to come back in. But you listen to this story here, and it grows your skin as a parent to see that a child could lash, listen not here, lash another child to his head twice without ever thinking about the consequences of his actions. You know what keeps me on the straight and narrow? Let me tell you that, the consequences of my action. Whether I can see the pearly gates, right? Or it's eternal damnation for the rest, for all eternity. This is the consequence of my action. Sometimes it's keep me in line, right? When I think about some things people try to do to me and did to me, right? And my natural response, that's not alien. My natural response, I see myself on Kaitro News front page and Starbucks News front page for the wrong reasons, right? And like the driving instructions, when in doubt, I pull back. When I doubt the outcome, I pull back, right? I see myself sitting at Camp Street or at the Penitence or one of them places, I pull back. I didn't think about the consequence. But this student clearly didn't think about the consequence. He could lash another student twice to his head. After, according to Fiona, the matter should have been settled. Right? They break bread, they say sorry, but the report says he was cranked up. Going by that report, he was cranked up and he felt this was the way. This was the way to go. You pick up a stick and you lash somebody. Right? You all think it's easy? It's not easy. Let me see if I get it. Let me see if I get that. To let you know what's happening in the school system. You got physical and you got some supernatural issues happening. Physical and supernatural issues happening, and I wanna let me get that for you. Stick around, folks. Stick around. What's happening in the interior? Serious matters. Serious, serious matters are happening, and we gotta grapple with them. So I'm gonna let you listen to this interview that MP Vincent Henry did with some concerns that the residents of South Rupununi have, right? With what's happening at Sand Creek Secondary School, for instance, right? They said the school was built on a sacred site and an evil spirit that owns the place wants a life. That's what they're telling us. That's how I'm bringing it to you. I don't want to lie to you, right? You're going to take a listen to it and judge for yourself. Tremendous challenges, guys. Tremendous challenges. You might hear some static. We apologize. We apologize. Take a listen to that. Do we have it? Bear with us, guys. Bear with us. Forgive any static you might hear. Bear with us. The guys are trying to help me to bring through the audio properly, but bear with us. We're just making sure that everything is connected to bring that in good for you. You know what? Maybe I can play it from here. This is already in. Hold up. Bear with us, guys. Yeah, a lot of stuff happening in the school system that we got to grapple with. And while we hope that Fiona can rejoin us before program time. Let me let you take a listen to this. Can play from one end, we want to play from that end. We're almost there, guys. Share the live stream for us. Smash that emoji button if you've just joined us. You're in tune to Below the Belt, our international podcast, and we're talking about the Jaheim Straker story of being fractured. We were just talking with his mom. She had to. I did tell you she was out of the hospital when she was talking to us, and she needed the doctor's attention. The doctor needed her attention, and she should be back with us. But take a listen to what's happening at Sand Creek. Super normal, supernatural things.
Tell you, I can remember it at the year, right? What or what month? The thing is this: when we heard about the secondary school will be built in South Central, and then of course we meet together as leaders, the two shouts of each village, each communities, and then the councillors as well. Senior two shouts was also there with us. So we sat at this actually in a primary school and we talked about it. So when we talk about the secondary school is going to be built at Sand Creek, Tushaw of Sand Creek, which is Tushaw, Eugene, and Drew said there is no place for secondary school. So all the rest people say let it be in Shulinab. All the Tushaw said let it be in Shulinab. But good. Willie know when he was Tushaw for Shulinab, he asked me, where do we have a spot for secondary school, Mr. Ador? I told him, look, we have a place just at the back of our cashew plot, just at the back by Rorida. We have a place there. There's everybody clap their hand. All right, let it be actually now. Good. The second year now, when things goes wrong by, when we've been to Anai for heritage, and it's there. Mr. Barajajo could go on the stage and tell people now, I am the boss and I want this thing to be the secondary school to be built in Sand Creek. You know, all the two South of South Central back up when they hear that. Even me, I feel hurt. And this is not something nice. Now, couple years after, the school has been built, yes, but now the people are suffering now. I feel it, you know, when you see a person like me, I feel for my people. I don't have no small child going to school anymore, but it's our people, young people, I'm worried about. I'm a concerned person about the same up to today. I brought it up two times to our region, our
What is the
region
problem?
9.
What is the problem? No.
The problem is that to show all the old people say that place is a secret site. And they humble the secret site. And
That's in Sand Creek.
that is in Sand Creek. That is in Sand Creek. When me myself, when I gonna investigate this problem here, how it come about, to show Eugene say that is the reason why I didn't want it there. Our belief is that I know that place was
Mm-hmm.
like that. You understand? And it's
So,
so it come about.
so what is happening now?
What is happening now? The young girls, they inside there. Somebody want to jump over the window. Somebody want to all them kind of things, catching fits and hollering at the top of it, running away and things like that. In those kind of way now, do these children they learning anything?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They are not learning anything at all. That is what I'm concerned about. Plenty times parents who is very serious about it brought it up to our regional chairperson of region 9. He never bring up this kind of thing. To me, like, because when the ministers came here, that thing, let it be that, let it be not more. All we got to do, we got to pray. That is all what he said the last.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Talk the things.
And he said he want to hear no more story about the secondary school and things like that. I say it is not that you came to hear, not you really. I want to bring it up to these ministers. Let it hear because you never put this kind of thing there.
So which ministers you brought this to?
There was the Doctor, I believe is the waterman and the housing man. What you call it, minister? Name?
Minister of Water and Housing.
Uh-huh.
That's Colin Crowell, folks.
He was, what's his name this morning? I don't know. I heard there was,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there is the man who came, I was telling you this morning. I won't get his name just now. Cruel, Mr. Cruel or
Mr.
something.
Kroll, uh-huh.
Uh-huh. That's the man. And the another person was the the money man, the treasurer.
Oh, this is Dr. Ashni Singh.
Aha, sing.
So y'all told them the problem.
We brought up the problem to them.
And what they said?
And this and I wanted it to hear more, but the chairperson, the chairman said no, they don't want to hear nothing like that anymore. And we stop at that. But a lot of people who say clearly, but we want this thing could be a little, not a little problem, big problem because of the children
Are suffering.
and suffering.
So what?
So
How the children are
I
suffering?
wanted to tell them that one man don't dead at Tupununi crossing already.
Uh-huh.
Uncle Bas, who is going to his granddaughter.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So this is a burning issue.
so what's the problem really?
The problem is that now, at this present moment, children they are suffering inside, especially the girls.
Uh-huh.
Some of them coming back with scratch of face, the thing of the beautiful face, they scratching up and the man coming hollering at the top of their voice and things like that. Right there, they have one now. If
Right
you go
now?
there, I don't know how she's feeling now.
Where?
Uncle Patrick right there.
Uh-huh.
She's there now. And I don't know how much in showing up. I
Uh-huh.
don't know how much in you know how much parents gone this morning from Baitun
Mm-hmm.
to bring the children
To collect the children from
to
there.
collect the children.
So it is a big problem.
It is a big problem where human being is concerned. We are human being, you know, just like them. That's why the reason why I was saying, put yourself in our place here. What we pass through.
Yes, they wouldn't allow that to happen.
I'm telling you, the further you make a joke with those people there, they go take it serious. And if it's you or the government, they will pelt you off. Because you causing a lot of stupidness. That's all. But today, they're doing the right. They're talking that they love American. To me, that they don't love American people at all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vincent, MP Vincent Henry, for doing that interview for us. That's the people talking. That's the voice of the people. And you know the adage, your voice of the people is the voice of God. And this here is reported to be transpiring at the South Central Rupununi, Sand Creek Secondary School. A lot of hauntings and possessions and so on. It's real, folks. It's real. These aren't stuff we talk about in politics. We leave it for the domain of religion, right? But when it intervenes and in an educational facility that is run by the government, then it becomes political. Right? How we intervene here, right? You got Sand Creek and say, "Oh, y'all things in there, Barrett say leave." Must he got your own things himself. Must he got your own things, right? Intervention is needed there. Intervention is needed there. Right? We just leave our children in a school setting where all kinds of things happening to them. You hear the man say? Students want to jump through window, running away and all kinds of worry, hollering out and so on. And I got a video, they sent me a video. I ain't played yet. Where one student, three men trying to hold on a student because the things took possession of her. They sent the video. You think it's propaganda? Right? You think Priya can go there and say, Ice Minister Education, right? Comfort? things we got Priya running up the road. Yeah? Small one, all them running overseas. It's the things. It's the things. Folks, we regret that Fiona could not rejoin us. And I'm certain you guys understand the circumstances that she said she has not left the hospital. She's been at her son's bedside ever since he's been at Mercy Hospital day and night. And she hadn't seen him since he came out of the surgery. And you guys would have heard her say that the doctor just came in and needed her attention. She is not going to be able to rejoin us. But as soon as we can get an update from her on a subsequent program, certainly, um, certainly we're going to have her we're going to have her in a subsequent program join us and give us an update. But we're so glad for the many of you who join us, the hundreds of you who join. It is our privilege, guys. We don't take your presence here lightly at all, at all, at all, at all. We're going to continue to bring the valid and credible information. Who vex lose? Who vex lose? We can continue to bring the valid and credible information to you guys, and this is why we ask of you to partner with us, that we can continue to grow from strength to strength, meet our financial obligations. Right? You think we get a subvention from the state for bringing news and information to you guys? No, 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 no. They don't want you to get the kind of news we want to give you. They want the kind of news they want you to hear, the propaganda and the lies, but we want to bring you credible and valid information. Help us to do so. I'm certain by now you realize we ain't building houses and buying fancy cars with the money, the little that you all send us. But we're so grateful to it because it helps us to go from month to month doing these programs for you. Whether it's FYI or morning program, whether it's below the belt or podcast right here during the lunch hour, whether it's the in the ring program to put it together to bring the people together that helps us to produce these programs and the services that are needed. If we don't have internet, how we can broadcast to you guys? If we don't have lights and the relevant equipment, and we still need so much more. But we're so grateful for you guys, and we're asking you to partner with us, folks, to help us to meet our obligations. If you guys have done so in the past, consider doing so again. We say partner with us on a monthly basis if you can, to help us to go from strength to strength and to do what we do. It isn't easy, guys. It's a tireless, sometimes thankless job that we do, but we do it because we know this news needs to get out there, and you guys need to know what is happening. We got several platforms available for your convenience, and that you can partner with us. We got the Cash App. It's big in the diaspora. The Cash App. Our Cash App handle is the dollar sign in the ring 592. Our Cash App handle is a dollar sign in the ring 592. We also available via Zelle and PayPal. One email address for both Zelle and PayPal. Our email address is in the ring 592 at gmail.com. That's our PayPal email address. In the ring 592 at gmail.com. We're also available, guys, via MMG. That's the Guyanese Cash App. That's our Guyanese digital money transfer service, if you will. You can pay your bills there too. At Cash App, at MMG, our number is 627-6963. 627-6963. And if you need any guidance, guys, on these platforms, you want to WhatsApp that very number, 627-6963, and we'll be able to guide you in the right direction, how you can partner with us. And we're also available via MoneyGram and Western Union as well. MoneyGram and Western Union available to us as well, guys. So give us a shout, WhatsApp us, and let us know. We'll be very, very happy for you to guys to partner with us and help us to meet our monthly responsibilities. That being said, folks, that being said, thanks for joining us today. We're back in the ring this evening for our final program for this week, our final show for this week. We're in the ring at 8, folks, and we're so glad that hundreds of you joined us for this our international podcast. Good to see you, Brenda Braffett and Carol Joseph, Laverne Harcher and Kelman Prasad, Leonard Jacobs, Stacy Mattis, Diane Graves, Andy. Folks, drop a comment so we can give you guys a shout out. Maureen Chichester Paul, good to see you as well. Good to see you, Laverne. Carlotta Reynolds is here. Good to see you, Carlotta and Diane Graves, Andy. Good to see you, beautiful, fantastic, peace-loving folks. Good to see you guys. We're going to see you guys right back here at 8 this evening. That being said, Dr. Silva. That being said, hey, Dr. Silva. That being said, Yolanda, good to see you. Good to see you, Marilyn King. Folks, drop a comment. We give you a quick shout out. Commissioner Cole, we see you, Commissioner Cole. Good to see you, Commissioner Cole. Continue the fantastic work that you're doing. I've been following. I haven't been doubting like Thomas, but I've been following from afar off. Good, good to see you, Commissioner Cole. And Brenda Braffett, good to see you as well, Brenda. Good to see you, Lola Lancaster. Bishop is here too, and Patricia Kisoon. And good to see you guys. We're going to see you guys right back here at HIT. I see Salome David has joined us as well. Good to see you, Salome. Carol Rollins, we see you. Sharon Joseph. Lloyd Mackenzie, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Michaela Webster. Folks think we only give a shout out to people who partner with us. Not so far from the truth. If you comment, we see your name show up in the comment. we give you a shout out. If you don't comment, we don't see the name. Latoya Innes, we see you, for instance, Latoya. We see you, Boo. Hazelin King, we see you as well. Good to see you, Hazelin. Have a fantastic rest of the afternoon. Each and every one of you. Glenn says, Mingo Burns says, I'm here. We see you, Glenn says, we see you. One of our favorite folks, one of our favorites. Good to see you, Claire Capel. Good to see you, Yvonne Kingston. Guys, have a great rest of the afternoon. Go ahead and be great, guys. Go ahead and be great. We can see you guys right back here this evening at 8 for our final broadcast of In the Ring for this week. Go ahead and have a great afternoon, guys. See you soon. Stay safe.